Guys, what's up? Happy New Year! Hope your first couple of weeks in the new year has been great. We all had a rocky start with the new year with a couple of celebrity deaths and just the way the world is right now. It didn't really start off great, but we still have hope, right? This episode you're about to listen to took place around the summer of 2021. So a lot of things that you're about to hear is dated. And surprisingly, some of it is not. We talked about the mask and now mask mandates on and off. And we're still in the middle of the pandemic. We thought it would be over by the end of the year, and obviously it's not. It's continuing on like a bad soap opera. It's interesting to see the transition of how I started with now called Pandemic Floss, formerly known as Mental Floss series, how the anxiety that I was feeling. And I feel like now my anxiety is now normalized. Like you can only fear for your life oh so long, right? There's a duration of time. Is just living with this situation. And you want it to go away, but it keeps popping up in different types of variants. And how do you move on? How do you live with this virus that can ravage your body? Or how can you live with the aftermath of other people? How do you live with the aftermath of the healthcare system? Or even you're taking your kids to school. How do you deal with that? And having that conversation with Veronica and Anta about how do you deal with that, especially in architecture. One of the things I want to emphasize is this normalizing having a career break. When I talk to other people about it, I get various types of answers. And some people would tell me, no, you don't take a break. It looks bad on your resume. They don't want breaks in your resume. And why? Why does it look bad? Why can't we not normalize career breaks, sabbaticals? Why can't we not normalize that? You need a break. You need a vacation from your career. You need to just reset yourself. That type of thought or mentality, it's not healthy. It's a mental health. You're taking a mental health break because architecture is so rigorous and so demanding and time is constantly running out on you. When you listen to what Veronica has to say in her experience and how, trying to balance everything, it's extremely stressful. One of the things that I felt during the pandemic, even now, because we're still going through it, where are the women in architecture? Like there's no, well, maybe I'm not in tune with it. That could be it too. It could be it too. Like I'm not in tune with what's going on. We hear about the Great Resignation, and now is a great opportunity to if you need to move jobs, you need to, have a boost in salary. This is a perfect time to do it. But ultimately is the work-life balance and balancing everything, including life situations. I just didn't feel like a cohesiveness specifically with, and I'm constantly on social media and I just didn't see that. I didn't see the rally among women to help each other during this pandemic. When you have kids or even without kids, like what if you're single? There's no rally with that. And again, like if there is, I didn't see it. I wasn't necessarily looking for it either, but it just didn't. I don't know, maybe it's my own For You page that I just, I was just blocked with that stuff. It's a serious topic. It's a privilege. Like I want to point out to you that both Veronica and Anta have nannies, and that's a privilege. Some families can't afford that and they have to homeschool their kids, and because the schools are closed, or with the school system, whether mask on, mask off, you're virtual only for a couple of days a week, or I'm keeping my child at home for various reasons, or my child needs to go to school for various reasons. It's a constant decision on top of your responsibilities as being an architect. There hasn't been a deeper conversation about that. If you know of it, just hit me up and let me know, and I'd be happy to listen to it or read it or whatever. But I know for me, I just haven't seen it. I haven't asked that question to either of the two ladies, but I think that at the time too, I didn't bring it up, or neither of them brought it up or anything like that either. So a couple of updates with them. Anta has moved to Belgium, and Veronica has changed jobs, so she has a new job now. 2 life changes for them. I'm still the same. Nothing's changed over here. I didn't write down everything that has updated them, but I'm going to ask you if you have any questions for either Anta or Veronica. Just hit them up on LinkedIn. I mentioned that you heard them on this podcast, and ask your question. They had some life-changing things happen to them since the podcast, and you kind of curious just to hear what happened. Just hit them up. They'll be happy to answer any of your questions. For example, Veronica still hasn't seen her parents. She mentioned that she was going to see her parents. She still hasn't, and she did not take the kids to Florida. Instead, they went somewhere in New York. So if you're curious about those type of things too, again, hit them up on LinkedIn. All right, hope you enjoyed the episode. Here you go. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa.
Last time we talked, we were wearing masks and trash bags and buying toilet paper and hand sanitizer and putting gasoline in bags and all that good stuff. Now we are transitioning back to work. So I brought you ladies on because last year around this time, ish, we were in the midst of a global pandemic. We didn't know what was going on. We were all home, and you two have little ones on top of husbands, on top of being awesome architectural professionals, architects, whatever. And I wanted to do a post-op. Lessons learned. What would you have done differently in trying to do the work-life balance? Your kids at home, get them all set up, and your workload, sharing a space with a spouse who's also working. Like, any lessons learned?
So first, it's really nice to be back. Thanks for the invitation. Lessons learned, it was pretty hard. I think lesson number 1 is don't try to do everything at the same time. Don't put the kids the whole day in front of the iPad. We had staggered schedules, my husband and I. I would start really early in the morning and he would work late until the night. And then we just got to a point that was just too much. So we got help. We got a nanny. And after that, both of us got some time off. We took some time off to focus on the kids. And it's not possible to work full time and homeschool.
Yeah, so I think lessons learned on our case was just to be patient. I guess we were lucky because we had the nanny and we had to she took care of the kids for the most time, and we were able to work with really no interruptions except the kid that was in French immersion. At times he needed help. Once they started going back to school, even though they're not like full-time school, and there's so many things, I think it's just to be patient with the circumstances around that, the things that you cannot control, like in the school in this case, or people going out or putting masks or not putting masks on, and trying to keep your bubble kind of clean without anybody getting sick. But I think I was pretty happy with working from home. I think my team was doing whatever they needed to do. We all were working hard and communication was good. I don't know. I think it worked, but now our office was started open and back up in the middle of the summer, and twice a week, 50% with staggered hours. And now starting after 4th of July, we're all going back, and you will maybe have optional days of working from home, maybe once a week, but mainly they want us all back. It was a little shocking when they said no masks in the building anymore, but I guess I'm still wearing mine. There's a lot of people that are not wearing theirs. but just because I have little kids that are going to school, and they said 90% in the office have been vaccinated, but we don't know exactly who or when or what. But I mean, I just need to be careful. You never know.
Did you have to volunteer that information?
So our office is not saying that you have to get vaccinated, but they did wanted to have a survey, anonymous survey, just because they needed to make sure that the amount of people that were vaccinated, and if could open and take the masks away.
I was asked unofficially, because you're not supposed to ask officially if we are vaccinated. I'm okay disclosing it.
Oh, totally.
Yes, and most people are. And yes, I've been recently back to the office, and I saw people without masks, and it was a bit freakish. It's kind of weird. And my husband and I, we are vaccinated, but the kids are not. Although, I mean, it seems they've been pretty good. We had a couple of scares at school. We got a kid that was sick in my boys' classroom, but he wasn't there that week. But it seems like it wasn't contagious so far. No, none of the kids got sick. But it's always scary. We're not 100% free of COVID yet.
Are you vaccinate your kids?
As soon as I can.
Yeah, we are too.
As soon as they say it's safe.
Yeah.
No mask in the office kind of freaked me out too. People walking around. I mean, some have them around their neck, but my mask is on the entire time I'm there, unless I'm drinking water or I am like super hungry and I need to put this food in my mouth right now, so I would pass out.
Yeah, I'm going to continue with the masks. And we've noticed that it's not only good against COVID, but we've been so much healthier. No one got any colds, and that is good. And no flu.
I feel like they should provide some type of counseling at work.
It's okay to see the full face of your colleagues.
I mean, the guy who hired me, my boss, he's like, Melissa, I've never seen your face. I hired you and I've never seen your full face.
One day.
I'm like, I can give you a picture. Here's my driver's license. But he hasn't seen my face like this regularly. Now I'm having anxiety. Like, what if, I take off my mask and people are like, ooh, I didn't know you look like that. Oh, put it back on. Like, I'm having anxiety.
That happened with my physiotherapist. Anyway, it was so weird when I just saw his full face. I was like, who are you?
That's so funny. Yeah, I agree with the masks. It's just not. I was asked, why are you using your mask still? And I'm like, well, because I have little kids that are not vaccinated. And then they made the comment, so you're protecting us from your kids? And I'm like, well, I'm protecting us.
So intrusive. Like, why are you asking me, why do I have it on? It's like, why are you washing your hands? Why do you brush your teeth? Like, I feel like it's just part of that whole.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still extra careful, even like still being very cautious with who we meet, where we meet. We haven't met that many people indoors yet, so.
Oh, we haven't done that either.
Oh, you haven't met up at all or meet anybody? Or
I mean, outside with the kids' play dates on a park or with friends outside, but never, like, we haven't gotten anyone inside our house yet, or we haven't gotten anyone's house. I am the only one in our family that is actually putting a foot, well, except for Mike when he goes grocery shopping, a foot in a building. And just because I have to go to but I mean, Mike's office completely, they decided to close the office, and everybody will be working from home forever.
Permanently?
Yeah. They broke the lease and that was it. No more office.
Oh.
Communication depends on your team.
Has there ever been a team? I mean, we were on one team and we're connected. But I've experienced teams that weren't that cohesive, that was just thrown together and everybody hated the project and everybody wanted to get out the project. And
Oh yeah, of course. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But like, I think nowadays, or because it's supposed to be that not everybody's working from home, that we understand that everybody needs to be constantly chatting with each other about the project.
But that's not even realistic in the office, right?
No, but I don't know. It just feels like somehow disconnected. When I'm leading the team, I try to get everybody on the same page. And even if we were working from home, chat for 5 minutes at the beginning of the day and just say, okay, what you're working on, what am I working on? This is what I need to finish. This is what you need to finish. And kind of like map it out so everybody kind of knows where you're working on. So I don't know.
I do find because we're remote that we tend to over communicate. Every single thing is, okay, I'm going to send a message on Microsoft Teams to say that I changed this in the model. So if you see something, I did it, beware. And maybe before I wouldn't do all this over communication thing. And we do have people working in different time zones. So now we have one of my colleagues is in India.
Wow.
So it's hard to know. She's working at different hours, and I think it's good practice just to leave all these messages and notes from whenever she comes back, so she can pick up where she left. Yes, it's a different way of working. I like it myself. I do like it.
The extra communication, or
I like the remote work.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like it, and it's and you just send this nuggets of information, and then you can attend a conference at lunchtime somewhere else in the world. I just attended to the David Ajay RIBA gold medal ceremony. It's just because it's all online now, so you can just attend things all over the world. It's pretty good.
That's the benefit of, if you want to do like what's the silver lining in all this, is networking in a different form. And certain things didn't work, like the AIA conference. I can't sit in anything like that, can't be on my screen. I would totally tune out.
Have you tried it? Have you done it?
Well, I mean, this in terms of like a conference style thing, something that I'm not 100% invested in it. If we were physically going to the conference, you'll have the keynote speaker and you'll just go, just to hear what they have to say. Kind of like the essence of the whole conference. You'll just go to, you pick and choose things that I just need this credit, or this has sustainable credits. But for you to ask me to sit here for an hour, my attention span is just...
I 100% agree with you. I did the NOMA conference and I was really happy that I attended, because I normally don't travel for conferences because of the kids. I only attend when it's in DC. And I was pretty happy that I could do it for the first time. But it just was not a good idea. It's not a good idea. I didn't take enough time off because obviously, I'm sitting at my computer. Might as well just do a little bit of Revit instead of taking time off. So you're not 100% focused. Your family is around, because if you're not 100% focused, why would they leave you alone? Right?
Right.
Mommy is here. Let's ask for mommy stuff. And I just felt it was like, I wouldn't say a waste of money, but I said next time I'm going in person. If it's whenever I can, I'll go in person, and then I'll stay in an hotel. my own.
Yeah, I feel like now they need to do a hybrid. They have to have it streaming and they have to have it like in person.
I agree, and I think in general, I would like to, for all these conferences or for all events in architecture, they would have to be like that. And because it's easier. Like, it's true. I mean, I wish I could attend all those conventions and things they have, even if it's in the evening in DC. I usually don't go because, well, the kids. But if they were online in Atlanta or who knows where, I mean, why not?
You may hear that.
I'm glad I did, because at least I got to experience it, but I didn't take it wasn't the full experience at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the part of meeting people and networking, that just does not exist. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, because you need to be like one-on-one.
Yeah, that is true. In those cases, yeah, conferences.
Career-wise, do you think that your career has stalled, has grown, or stayed the same compared to last year?
I actually asked for a change. I was just feeling stressed, basically. And I was getting a lot of anxiety, and I went one day thinking that I was going to have a heart attack. My arm was hurting. My chest was like feeling stressed. So I just asked to do not work on the project that I was working on. So they put me in a different team. I'm not leading the team. And honestly, it was a battle in my head trying to, did I do the right thing? This is wrong. I shouldn't have done it. Or why am I doing this? I'm supposed to be going the opposite direction. But I also have to think that this is temporary, that this is for my benefit, for my kids' benefit, for my husband, for us, because no matter how we want to be and how much we want to embrace at work and my career, and I want to say that I'm going to conquer the world or whatever, that I'm going to be the best in what I do at the office. I want to be the best too as a mom, and or I don't want to be yelling all the time. I don't want to be this are my kids. I want them to remember that they have a mom that is not yelling all the time. And I don't want to feel like I'm stressed all the time. I don't want to feel the tension in the chest. And I don't want to feel like, when am I going to die? Or I don't know. I just was having too much of a hard time working on, call it a person, call it a team. Maybe, who knows? Maybe people will not understand in the office my point of view. Maybe somebody will relate to it. Maybe they think that I'm crazy, but I just can't. I will come back. I will try to do my best again. I mean, nobody can tell me that what I have done or the way my career has grown or developed is not fructitious, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, I just wish people would be a little bit more sympathetic of, in general terms, saying English is not my first language, and I'm translating everything into my native language, and I try to explain my best, and I try to lead meetings, and I try to absorb as much as I can, and manage consultants and manage the team. I just wish, and I would think, if those people that are just pointing fingers that would do the same thing, put their feet in my shoes and go to a different country where there's not your language, and then you can do the same thing as I have done. That is what gives me peace of mind. I might be wrong, but I just feel like I need a little bit of a pause, and it hasn't been, and I want to, maybe I'm wrong saying it, but my career is important, but my family is more important.
It's very brave, Veronica.
It took me a long time, honestly, to come to what I am saying. And sometimes I feel I'm not doing the right thing. And sometimes I feel like, what, I did this, you're going to regret it. It hasn't been easy, honestly. But I need my time to grow too, as with my kids and the things that they're doing. And there's a lot of things that happened this year. I mean,
so would you say that it's the culture or is it the individual? It's both. Because when we all work together, you didn't feel this way.
Oh no, but it was not a pandemic either. Like I miss
True.
my mom. I need a hug from my dad.
Yeah.
Right?
That is true. That's so true.
It's just too long. I don't know. I mean, you remember last time we had that Cancun trip that we had to cancel. We had to re-cancel again this year because it was too early in the pandemic. And everybody keeps traveling, and Cancun is now like a red zone, and people are getting sick left and right. And so hopefully in 3 years or next year, and we'll go to Cancun. But I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think but I think I want to believe that my career can take a pause for a little bit, and then maybe I'll just go back again. You know what I mean? Like I can
You
be back in
deserve a
my
break.
course.
You deserve a break. And being like an expert in breaks as I am, I do find it's energizing, and maybe it's time that you can use to think about your future. And if you want ever to be a leader in a firm, what it will be, what are you going to offer, right? We keep on going, and especially, I guess if we're women, normally you become a project architect, you might become a project manager, and then you get into the managerial position, but there's never time to stop and think about your vision, what you want to bring, what do you want to change. So when I had to have my involuntary break, because I did have problems with my work authorization, because like Veronica, I'm not American. I'm on a G4 visa, and I had to stop working for 4 months, and it was really frustrating, but I did have the kids, and it was great to have family time with them. But then really got to think, I got to read. You never get to read, right? You never get to understand the whole picture of what you're doing. I think breaks are important. And I'm a bit like you, Veronica. I think I'm taking a step back in my career for 2 reasons. First, I changed sectors. So I used to work on multifamily. Now I joined the K-12 studio in my firm, and I cannot be a project architect because I mean I don't know. I'm learning. So I'm again a team member. And it's definitely a step back. But it's rewarding because I was sincerely getting really bored with the same type of project over and over and over again. And the break really gave me some time to learn more about the sector. Just think about other possibilities. So yeah, career doesn't need to be like a straight line. I hope for my own sake.
No, and I was talking to somebody about this, I know who I was talking to, that it's kind of like, then what? You get licensed, then what? You become principal, then what? What is the end goal of everything? There will always be projects. There will always be work to be done. But in the end, do you want to own your own firm? What does that look like? How does that fulfill you? You said, Veronica, is architecture is not everything. Your family is everything. And I think everybody during this pandemic realized that family is the most important thing. You don't want your family to get sick because, and we're all replaceable. They could turn around and say, you know what, we're going to let everybody go and start all over again and get people for cheaper. There's no more of that American type dream where you work at the same place for 50 years to collect a pension and retire at the age of 55. Like, that is dead. And it just seems that, especially in this career that we picked, that they will work you and work you and work you. And it's up to you to realize, what is it that I want? Like, with the new job that I have, I I was talking to my sister. She's like, "You're happy." I was like,
What's wrong with you?
what? Why are you happy? I never seen this. It's been a long time since I've seen happy Melissa. And I'm like, am I happy? And I realize this. I enjoy my job because I'm learning. And like I was so focused on I gotta get licensed. Oh, I gotta get this title. Oh, I gotta do a bunch of AIA stuff to prove to my boss that I'm a leader. Like I've done all these things, and it's like, okay, I don't have to do it anymore. I may do something to spruce something up, but my family is important to me. My mom is important to me. My husband is important to me. My family is important to me. And I do this podcast for fun. Like
well, that's what I was gonna say. I think part of it too, Melissa, is that you have found something outside of work that is clicking you and making you more curious about doing things like the podcast. It's something that is keeping you energized mentally in a different way than just going to an office and put together a set, besides being with the kids and the family. I've been meaning to find that. I want to it's like, okay, I'm going to be a project architect. I'm going to be a project manager. I'm going to have my team. I'm going to attend the project manager meetings and, all that stuff. But then that's sort of like, and then what, like you were saying?
Yes. Yeah, you need something to glue all that together and make it worth it. Because especially being a project manager, I mean, I've been kind of running away from it. Every time someone suggests that I should start thinking about it, I'm like, no, it seems not ready yet. And to shoulder that responsibility, there must be something more that gets you going. There must be something aligned with what you think it's important. That's probably one of the reasons I changed sectors, because I was thinking that the projects I was working on, they were not bringing anything positive in the end of the day. Although some people would say they did, maybe, but maybe if I want to have some impact in the world and do things that align with the way I want to be seen in the world, I should do something else.
Veronica, why did you get into architecture? I know I asked you the question before, but it's not popping in my head right now.
I don't know. I guess I always like to draw, like to build. Well, maybe I think drawing and design. I think I need a little bit, like I was going to go to med school and then I decided that I didn't want to do it because of, I don't like blood. So I don't know. Then I just decided to switch, and then here I am.
Well, you're a great project manager. I mean, you managed me. So
yeah, but but those were other days. Those were, I think it's just depending on the time that you were at that point, just not.
But I think like if this was a checklist, you check that box off.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, you've done it. You've succeeded.
Yeah. But I think I want to take a deep breath. Just try to find that thing again that is going to click me to keep going. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to leave architecture. I'm not saying that I'm totally disengaged with it. No, it's just that I think it's just time.
You need a sabbatical.
It's been isolated.
You need a sabbatical. That's what it sounds like. Sabbatical and like beach.
Oh my God.
Oh, seriously. I don't know. If you can take a break, even if you don't go to the beach, because the good thing about the break that doesn't involve a vacation, because like you, my family is abroad. Every time I have a break, I try to go somewhere to see some family member, and that's a trip to Europe with a jet lag and 2 kids jet lag for a whole week, and then you come back, same 2 kids jet lag for a whole week. It's not a break.
Yeah,
it's not. And this time I couldn't go anywhere. I was here at home. Okay, I have the kids to take care of, but then you have your time. It's your time, especially now that they're going to school a little bit. And then you can do the things that you really love and you completely forgot about them because you just don't have time. And if you have time, you have like three little humans,
Yeah.
begging for your attention. So that's my recommendation.
Thanks, Anton. I'll take it. I mean, I'm taking a step back of whatever I'm doing in the role in the office. Who knows? I hope it will be a good move eventually. Or at least if nobody sees that it's a good move, I do think it's a good move for myself.
And that's the important thing. Because it's you only, it's one life, one body, one everything. And you have to take care of yourself.
We tend to forget the one body thing.
Yeah.
Until the body starts cracking.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh man, I forgot. Take care of you. Don't sit down for 10 hours a day without doing anything.
That's another thing. I mean, we've definitely been working more at home. Even you don't move as much. I can see it. Even though I'm here and I think that I'm gonna be getting up and exercising more, it's like not happening.
It's like it's two ways. So two things happened. It's not only the pandemic, but then we had George Floyd and the uprising and the racial awakening of corporate America. That spurred lots of activities and lots of organization within my firm. And we finally put together a diversity, equity, and inclusion group that is pretty strong. To be fair, I have not been involved in any committees or anything extracurricular since I had my kids, which is probably my whole career here in the US. I always been go to work, do your work, go pick up the kids, go home. And now I really felt for various reasons that I needed to get my voice heard. And it was very hard. It's really hard to speak up. But I felt I had to do it. And that starting to speak up, open up lots of doors. So I'm not only involved in this D&I committee, but then I got involved in the HR working group, which is a group of architects and HR staff get together and discuss activities to do in relation to the whole office. I got involved in recruitment, although we're not recruiting anyone now, but we're preparing. And I got involved with the firm-wide committee, so dealing with the management. So I'm becoming more visible because I needed to speak up. And that means like extra workload that is overhead and overtime, but I feel like I need to do it because sometimes you need someone to say some things that no one else will.
Like, honestly, I'm happy, or I hope they are really listening of what you're saying, because sometimes I've tried to be involved in this committees and they listen to you. So
it's a mixed bag. I mean, I have wins, I have losses, but the leadership, it's really keen in bringing change because they finally realize they have to do something. So it is working. We got some wins.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so I'm still motivated. I got to know them more because now I have a bit more access to the leadership, and I know they do want change. So that was positive aspects. The negative one is like the extra work I have to do, but hey. But then I'm motivated to do it because I know it's important. And the other side of the coin is, yes, besides the part that I changed studios and I wouldn't say I'm starting from scratch, but it's a step down. It's definitely a step down, at least for the first project, until I understand what I'm dealing with within the K-12 studio. And because of the pandemic and because we miss family and because my my husband's job, we're gonna move to Belgium for 2 years. So I'm gonna work as a contractor, and that means my career is gonna be on hold, because no way you can progress being so far away. And it could have worked while everyone is working remotely, but now everyone's going to be in the office. Meetings are going to be in the office, clients, consultants. So I had to make my peace with it, that it's going to be a break somehow. But I'm glad I'm going to keep on working, because although I'm here advocating for having a break, have a sabbatical, it is hard to get back on track. You just don't remember the basics. You need like a couple of months just to remember how to put sets back together and how to talk with consultants. I'm going to try be as connected as possible, but I think it's worth it. I haven't seen my dad in 3 years. Yeah. I don't know my niece, and she's going to turn 2. I've never seen her. There's so many people to see, and I still haunted by when the beginning of the pandemic. My mom was here, and we had to cut her trip short. Say just go back to Portugal while you can, and that was the last time I saw her. So yeah, it's time to put family first now. And I'll be 2 years older when I come back. And it's a bit scary because the age is like
scary.
Adding the years, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, 50 is not that far away.
No, it's not.
I'm like, oh man.
It is scary. I look at my resume and I said, oh, really, I have this many years of experience? I don't feel like it.
Oh, I mean, here's the same.
Like, seriously? No, I can't.
You start counting them. Like, are you sure? I graduated in when? Oh man, really? Yeah. Oh man, no, it can't be. And then it's like,
it is scary. I mean, it's scary, but not. It's we have grown in so many other ways besides a career. We made friendships. We make good, long friendships. We grow in different ways. I remember when I was starting and I had nobody would communicate of what was going on with the project or anything like that. And I hated that. So I always try to say, well, this is what happened in the client's meeting, and read the minutes. Try to keep them informed of what's happening with the project.
Yeah, that was particularly frustrating.
So on a lighter note, I feel like we've been kind of down and yeah.
It's good. It's good. Everything is getting a bit lighter.
Yeah. So compared this year to last year, I'm going to get political now. We got a new president. How you think he's been handling the pandemic and some of the policies that been on and off? Anything struck a chord with any of either of you?
I think the only thing that it has moved very quickly is the removal of the masks or opening up, like people can travel everywhere.
Yeah, if the countries take us, that's
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's fine if you think like we have been trying to take the kids to Disney or to Legoland, whatever. And then we just be postponing it. And then we were thinking, okay, this year, maybe next year. It was like, oh.
That's the scary bit. It's like, seems like the countries are so uneven. And what you do here is nothing to do with what you do in another state. I have to confess that since we got a new president, I've been so much more relaxed. That I'm just not paying attention. Like, I'm sure he's doing okay. I just don't pay that much attention.
He's being a president. That's what
it's just, and like, I mean, the peace of mind of not having someone just pout some lunacy every single day is just so good. Yeah, it is a relief. In terms of vaccines distribution, we're so much more ahead of the curve that back in Europe. So we're like probably a couple of months ahead. So that gives me the feeling that something has been done correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
that we are okay. And I'm glad that now President Biden is focusing on getting vaccines out in the world, because once we need to get everyone vaccinated, otherwise you get these variants keep on popping up here and there. So that's not what I'm scared of, is probably what's going out there right now in terms of what's happening in other countries, happening in Africa. So I still have family. I have my cousin working at UNICEF, and it's not pretty, and they really have to fight tooth and nail to get any numbers of vaccines. And again, if we don't have everyone protected, this virus is going to keep on moving and mutating, and that is scary.
The pandemic has been tough.
Yeah, the topic in itself is kind of.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to like a nice summer. I'm looking forward that my parents might come visit.
Nice.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Mike went to see his parents and took one of the kids with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we see, and when we were debating when was the best time to go, just because, do you take one? Do you take none? I can stay with the three of them back home. You go, you're vaccinated. Everybody's vaccinated over there. You're safe. But I mean, but we also thought, well, but his parents are not flying anymore, and we thought, well, take one kid and just protect her, and that's it. And but we're looking forward to really. Hopefully, I will see my parents in sometime in October, November. I mean, they say they want to come over in the summer, so. But I do want to go to see my sisters, my nephews, my nieces, my everybody. I eating Mexican food. It's just, I can't wait to go. It's just I want to go see my family, and I want to stay at my mom's house, and I want to go see my in-laws.
Like there's all these airport fights. And fights, like people are getting kicked off the plane because they don't want to wear their mask, or in the airport themselves. There's so many like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, of people just all out brawl, fight. I don't want to be anywhere near all that. And then you got to take a COVID test before you get on the plane. And you got to take a COVID test when you're there, or you got to quarantine. There's only certain places you can go to get the COVID test. My fear is that I go into a foreign country and they're going to charge me $800 US for a COVID test, or I got to spend $2,000 to stay in a quarantine hotel. Like, that's my fear on top of everything else.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And right now everybody's eager because everybody wants to get out. I mean, right now it's like, so I think again, now we have to step back, wait another little bit, and then go. But yeah,
I was actually thinking about camping.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, you're with me, right, Veronica? It's just find a kindred spirit. I never got it. I mean, why would you do that to yourself?
No,
just go to a hotel. It's like a bed.
But it's like
water, bathroom.
No, I'm not talking about the rugged type. There was one that I found that you can park your car, and some people sleep in their car, and there's a tent near there, and the beach. You guys look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
That's something I don't get it.
Live in your car. I was just like, I did that once. It was horrendous.
I was bitten all over. It was hot. I was sweaty. It was just not good. It's not fun.
Well, especially if you're a mom and you have to make everything happen. Yeah. Because when you're a kid, it's okay because people are doing stuff for you. The husband likes to go camping, and I'm the one that does not.
Does Bruno like to camp?
He loves it. He has beautiful memories of when they were the four of them kids. They would go. The one is those big tents they can open up.
Oh,
go
it's
with their
like my
parents and then cross the whole Europe and go to Greece. I mean, sounds amazing. And then, you would just run around because he was the youngest, didn't do anything. When I went camping, I had to do all the work because I was the older girl. So, yes.
no, it's like Mike loves camping. He's like, when are we gonna go camping?
Never.
You can go camping, go with the kids.
Take them.
I don't need to go. And then they have camp in the backyard. I don't know.
I would be okay
Go,
with
go,
that.
go. You guys camp in the backyard. I have my bed right here.
That'd be okay. That's a good compromise. Backyard camping.
I am not camping in my backyard. That's for sure. I'm not doing that.
No, like Bruno and the kids can, and I'll stay in.
Exactly.
It's totally
It's
fine.
quiet. I can watch my TV. I can have my beer, my coffee,
My coffee.
Has there been anything annoying within this past year?
I think the excitement was the election and knowing that the Democrats were taking over.
Nearly, like it's still a
Well,
thin,
yeah,
thin
yeah.
line.
I think, but that was like Anta was saying, that was a huge relief.
That was a relief. But the 6th of
Well,
January was
yeah.
extremely scary. I mean, extremely. And now in hindsight, like, oh, nothing could have gone wrong. It wasn't that bad. But it was like, it was very, very scary. I never thought I would see that.
Yeah, I think the people who have done that don't understand what it means to they never lived in an overthrown country.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
You have no government. You have no structure. You have no leadership. You don't trust the leader.
Yeah.
You know how,
Yeah. You wake up in the morning and there's a coup. And then that's it. You don't know you just don't know what to do. And you don't know. You're scared about your family and just these things happen in other countries all the time. And you kind of think, yeah, you guys just never went through it.
Do you not understand the ramifications when you don't trust your government? You don't want this to happen. I think it's like a romanticized thing. Like when you think back the 1800s, like 1700s, when we had the Declaration of Independence and you had the forefathers, and they don't understand, like the country had no money. They had no trade, or if they did or whatever. I mean, if Julian was on the call, he would have been.
Yeah, he would.
But even citing some whole bunch of stuff. But it just baffles me.
Dictatorship is not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, that's what we say back in Portugal. I used to say back in the days that we're kind of vaccinated against dictatorship and right-wing governments because we're so close to one, because we had a dictatorship until 1974. And all the other countries are getting kind of crazy, flirting with the far right. And we're very lefty and very kind of scared losing our freedom again. But it's slowly eroding. So I don't say that anymore. Yeah. So I hope now that Trump is gone, maybe. Let me hope.
He's not going anywhere. He's not.
It's like those super villains that they just, like Voldemort, they'll come back.
There was this article I was looking at. I don't know how true it is or not, but in the article, it says that even though Trump doesn't have his Twitter or his social media account, he's still getting views. He's still getting attention.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna.
So muting him just made him more.
Yeah, but at least I don't listen to it, so that's good. You know what I
mean?
But
the people.
But there are others that are on other social media platforms. Who knows how many are they? I mean, it's
all they have to do. All they have to do is just host them on a show, right? Put him on a podcast.
Don't invite him, Melissa.
Can you imagine how that conversation will be? I don't think I will be able to talk. I think he'll just dominate the entire conversation. And then I'm like, I don't know who's gonna edit this because it's not gonna be me.
Oh man.
Can I ask something to
Sure.
close it up? So, what do you see as the future gonna be? Are you looking forward? This we're talking about having breaks.
I'm
seeing
looking
family.
I can tell you right now, I'm looking forward to us doing this again, and you're in Belgium, and I get to see
Fun.
what Belgium looks like through your window. I don't know where you're gonna be.
Well, if it's gonna be winter, it's gonna look dark and rainy. Summer is really nice. Yeah, I am looking forward, and I'm a little bit scared because it's a country with its own issues. There's a language divide that I'll have to navigate, and I'm sincerely scared because I don't speak French or Dutch. So I'm gonna try and learn French at least. I'll do my best, but I'm gonna try and enroll in some classes because this is the opportunity to learn.
Yeah. Find a mom's group.
Yeah, it's pretty international too. So, and I am going to try and travel, visit family, and keep on working while I'm there. I don't know. I never done it before, so I'm gonna try to visit my brother in Sweden and just somehow keep on working without taking vacation. But I don't know. I'll let you guys know if that works.
So they don't speak German at all?
Which one? Belgium?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Belgium.
actually they do. It's the third language, but it's not that many people speak it, so it's not an issue. But the French-Dutch divide is a little intense, to say the least. It's a little bit contentious. But I'm glad there are Black people in Brussels because I'll have somewhere to do my hair. So it's very important.
Are you going to connect with the architecture community there?
I am going to try. I don't have any point of entry. Although my husband's uncle used to be the lawyer for the equivalent of the AIA, right? The licensing board, but he's retired. So I don't have any old colleague working there. Maybe some old friends of Bruno, but I'll probably just shoot an email to something that I found online and just show up like I did here. Basically, when I arrived to DC, I just Googled something and went to some events, AIA events, and just started talking with people. So probably try and do the same. Maybe it works. I will try. And London is so close, and that's much easier.
You still have friends there, right? Or no?
Yeah, I do. And they actually have like pretty nice careers. So
I know my friend. I have
pretty good.
I have a friend that I met at A&M at our master's, and she's in London, but she's German, and she works for Zaha Hadid, the firm.
Yeah, to that guy, annoying guy.
Yeah,
Schumacher dude.
Yeah,
I had a colleague that it was from my uni. I worked with her in Lisbon, and then she was working Zaha Hadid when I left London, and I think she just stayed and kept on going up. And I have a friend that works for Foster's, and now I think he's an associate principal. It's just
they just stay there.
They just stay and go and keep on growing.
Yeah. My friend has been there forever.
And I think they actually, the problem now is EU citizens cannot just go and work like we used to do in the old days, which is really sad. But they're all like, they're citizens now. So it's a bit like, what would have happened if I would stay? I don't know. But I'm looking forward actually to take the kids to London. That is one thing I want to do. I want to take Carolina to the Royal Opera House to watch the ballet. I mean, I need to do that.
Nice.
I want to do that one. It has to happen.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. So I hope I can just hop on the train and go to Paris, for instance. I need a list of things to visit and things to do and really do them and not like, oh,
Yeah, because those
guess
2 years
what?
are gonna go pretty quick.
It's the end. It's time to pack and go.
Yeah.
Veronica, you ever thought about that? Taking your kids to show them where you grew up when they're like older?
They've been to Mexico, yeah.
No, but like, this is where your mom went to school and this is where.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's no different than any big city, really. It's I mean, yes, I will take them to, this is my school and this is where I used to go and hang out, and this is, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
I mean, Mike can do that too. I don't know if he did it.
Yeah, no, he's done it. Yeah, like I introduced him to a lot of the things before kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we definitely need to do, like, I definitely want to do a trip about in Mexico for a long time, because there's so many things to see and there's so many different towns, the colonial towns, the north you go to the desert, the south you go to the basically the jungle and the big rainforest, and there's pyramids here, and there's mines over here, and it's just very diverse. So yes, there's a lot to see in history that they need to know about Mexico. It's just,
I've never been to Mexico either, so when you guys go down, let me know.
Oh, it's amazing.
I want to know what school you went to. You can at least show me.
This in Mexico City?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Mexico City. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so crazy. It was like when I was in the bar age, bar hopping, it was just not, it was impossible to keep up with the bars. They were opening one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And I went to this. No, they just opened this one. And it was always something, a new bar that you need to go see. And it's just never stopped. It's fun.
Sounds amazing.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of crazy. It was a lot of crazy. But it was safer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember, oh, that's so bad. I remember I was, I don't know, in my 20s, driving home, just trying, like, coming out from the bar and just trying to be home before the sunrise. And I'm like, so I have to be home before the sun is up. It's just so bad. It's just, because obviously, it was a shock when I moved to the US. Like, what? They're closing at 1? They're closing at 2? Why are they closing? This is when the party just started. Oh my God, what?
Culture shock.
Oh, that was a shock. And I was like, I was up until 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the bar was just starting to hop up at 10:30 midnight. And they're like, no, it's just,
you're just in the wrong city. You was just in the wrong city.
Yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun. Mexico City is a lot of fun at the right age.
Because you're like, I can't go past.
No, I can't.
No, I cannot do that.
Well, if you have a nap, maybe try have a nap and then you can.
No, I don't think I could do that. I don't think even a nap I won't make it past 2. Like I don't think.
I mean, if it's a fun wedding or stuff like that, yeah.
If it's something, yeah. If I'm, yeah, keeping me entertained all night, yeah. And not too drunk. Because if you get too
I cannot
drunk,
do that anymore. Like that doesn't process the alcohol in the same way it used to. This body. Oh man. That sounds amazing. Oh, I had some Mexican friends in London. It was so good. Like the parties were so good.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, there's this place with the great music. It's like so awesome. Well, that's one thing I'm gonna miss actually. The trips to Mexico midwinter, because there's nowhere so close in Europe that you can just go for a winter getaway. but it's just 2 years. I started in Portuguese, then it was just so hard to move to English, work in English, and now translate everything in my head to a different language. It's just like not gonna happen.
There's nothing. There's no
It's a
there's no
metric
relation.
system, right? No, but I guess you're going to be working for.
Oh, metric is great.
No, I know. I agree.
That's not the, and it's just whole different laws and regulations, and but I do think
Construction.
construction here is much more complex.
Oh yeah.
Definitely than Portugal for sure. Portugal is like, put like bricks, like mortar, whatever. Who cares about cold bridges? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I suppose I'm too old to do that again. I hope this remote working will work.
Well, good luck, Anta. I'm sure it will.
Thank you. I really hope you guys can just visit. It's gonna be fun. Let's go to Paris.
I would love to.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Paris getaway, and we can stay up all night.
Oh my gosh. I need dancing.
Oh, I mean,
well, on that note, I'm going to conclude. Thank you guys so much for reminiscing and talking to me. And
thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really good.
This time next year, we should do this again. This time next year,
definitely
post pandemic. So, but anyways, thank you, ladies.
All right,
thank you guys. Take care,
listeners. I have an exciting announcement. I decided to launch a membership program for the show, where you have a chance to support me and the show directly. I love creating the show, and it means the world to me that you all tune in to keep hearing me week after week. But it takes an immense amount of time and energy to produce. I want to keep the show going, and I want to invest in its growth. And I also want you to become a partner with me in this journey. That's why I'm excited to give you a chance to officially become a supporter of the show at glow.fm/archispolly, ARCHISPOLLY, or by clicking the link in the show notes. It's quick and easy. It takes less than 30 seconds and just takes clicking a link in the show notes and using Apple or Google Pay. You don't have to create any new logins, and you can contribute as much or as little as you like. If this show is part of your day or week and you like what I'm doing, then visit glow.fm/archispolly, all one word, and support me and the show in any way you can today.